Seeker, tonight, by the light of this single candle, I reveal a truth most couples will never admit. Did you know over 60% of couples secretly battle exhaustion, hiding it behind forced smiles and gentle lies? I once knew a couple. Let's call them Lindiwe and Thabo. Every morning, Lindiwe would say, "I'm fine," even as her eyes betrayed her. Thabo noticed, but he stayed silent, afraid to add to her burden. They held hands, but the distance grew. The silent partner's burden is a curse, Seeker, almost invisible until it shatters everything. But what if I told you the most haunting secrets in a relationship are not the words we say, but the silence we choose? Stay with me, Seeker. There's something darker behind the mask of "I'm fine." Tonight, we unmask it together. Seeker, every night, behind closed doors, secrets fester in the dark. Couples who laugh in the daylight become strangers in the shadows. In Johannesburg, a woman stares at her partner across a silent dinner table, her eyes pleading, his gaze averted. In Lagos, a man sits in his car, dreading the moment he must walk inside. These are stories no one dares to tell. What secrets are hiding in your home tonight? One night in Nairobi, Amina, a mother of two, whispered, "I'm fine," as she tucked her children in. But her hands trembled. She worked 2 jobs, smiled for her family, and hid her exhaustion behind a mask. Her husband, Samuel, never asked. He feared the answer. How many times have you worn that mask, Seeker? How many times have you hidden your pain, believing love means never being a burden? One evening, the silence shattered. Amina collapsed on the kitchen floor, her strength finally spent. Samuel rushed to her side, panic in his eyes. In that moment, regret and fear flooded the room. The truth, long buried, erupted in sobs and confessions. How many couples break only when the silence becomes too heavy to bear? Samuel's voice trembled. "Why didn't you tell me?" Amina's answer was barely a whisper. "I thought you couldn't handle my truth." Seeker, how many truths are hidden in your own home, waiting to be spoken? How many secrets do you carry, hoping no one will notice? Burnout is a silent killer, Seeker. It creeps in quietly, eroding trust, breeding resentment, turning lovers into strangers. I have seen it in Cape Town, in Accra, in my own circle. History is full of stories buried by silence. How many relationships have been lost to words left unsaid? If you feel this darkness, you are not alone. Across continents, people carry pain in silence, believing it is love, but silence is the real curse. Will you let it consume you, or will you break the spell? But stay with me, Seeker. The next story will haunt you. A man named Sibusiso, who wore the mask of strength for years. He was the rock, the provider, the silent guardian. But even the strongest can break. What happened to Sibusiso when the mask finally slipped? Are you ready to find out? Seeker, let me draw you into a ritual born from desperation. A ritual that pulled 2 souls back from the edge of silence. They called it the load check, but to them, it was a lifeline in the dark. Once a week, they faced each other. No screens, no distractions, only the flicker of a single candle and the courage to speak. The silence between them was thick, but hope glimmered in their eyes. One by one, they named their burdens, every fear, every secret, every silent ache. The words trembled in the air, but with each confession, the chains of silence began to crack. There was no fixing, no judgment, only listening. In that sacred space, their pain was shared and the weight grew lighter, moment by moment. At first, it felt like shouting into a void. But by the 3rd ritual, something miraculous happened. The silence broke, and hope flooded in. They saw each other not as burdens, but as warriors, standing side by side, ready to face the darkness together. Their love became a shield, their truth a torch. Sometimes, Seeker, all it takes is to speak the haunted truth and be heard. That is how the darkness breaks, and how love survives the storm. So, Seeker, will you dare to try the load check, or will you let silence win? Tonight, choose to break the curse. Let your haunted truth be heard. Subscribe and return for more haunted truths, because here your story is never forgotten. The light is waiting, Seeker. Step through.